The film's main character is Danny Collins, and it's Al Pacino playing him. And Danny is a very, very popular singer and songwriter who has kind of these anthemic songs that are kind of instilled in all of our brains as Americans. Danny is a big famous musician, some cross between Neil Diamond and Barry Manilow and Rod Stewart. He is incredibly wealthy, incredibly famous, and incredibly miserable.
We find Danny Collins at the end of the line, really.
See those Golden Girls in the front row?
Can't choose your fans, Danny. I'm Al Pacino's old manager. He's found this John Lennon letters.
You remember doing an interview when you were a kid?
You write like Lennon, man.
John Lennon read it, and he wrote you a letter.
He never received it at that crucial time in his life. That really would have meant a lot to him at the time, since John Lennon was his hero.
Practically, it's something that he just can't believe he has in his paws.
Being rich and famous doesn't corrupt your art. Only you can do that.
You can be famous and still be yourself. It sort of throws him really off his game. I mean, the kind of thing that, you know, it's rare that you get a life changer in there, you know, especially if you've lived a little. That something can come along and really change you. And it's also the timing of it, you know, his 65th birthday. There he is, as high as he's always been. And he gets this spark, this, you know, if it squirms, it's alive. And there it is, you know, something is alive.
So basically, yeah, I'm on the internet, and the story just kind of hits me, and I say, wow, what a missed opportunity. A musician receives a letter from John Lennon that he should have received 4 decades earlier. And I couldn't stop thinking about the story, and so I tracked down the guy and found out what had happened to him. In real life, he was a small folk musician with a successful fan base, and he remained that very much throughout his life. He's a great guy. He's continued making music. He supported himself musically. He never, quote-unquote, sold out. He stayed true to himself, as the letter would have advised him to. But I couldn't stop thinking about what would have happened to the version of a guy who had gotten very famous, and had gotten very wealthy, and had gotten very unhappy, and what would have happened if he had received that letter that could have changed everything. And that became basically the impetus for the film.
Frank, I decided to make some changes in my life. Some of the changes may come as a bit of a shock. Some may actually affect you financially.
I'm here as your friend, Danny, not as your manager. I think it wakes him up to try to kick all the sort of glitter of his career, and he tries to sort of change his mind about the quality of his work. And whether he ever makes it or not doesn't matter. At least he's gone several levels higher than he'd had before.
I want to cancel the rest of the tour.
I'm sorry?
I'm not sorry. I'm done, right? Done. So help me God, I will never be forced to sing those songs again.
Danny, you're spiraling. Are you on something? What are you taking?
I'm done with all of that, too. No more drinking, no more drugging.
No, you're drinking right now, Danny.
True. Let's forget about what I said about drinking.
I need a plane. Jersey.
Oh, welcome to the Hilton, Danny Collins.
Hello.
Hello.
He finds this son, played by Bobby Cannavale, and I play his wife. And it's all a big mess when Daddy shows up.
And I don't want anything to do with him. And I've got a wife and a little girl, a pregnant wife, and a little girl. You know, it's about a guy really sort of seeking a second way of life. It's kind of a redemption tale, you know, and Danny Collins is a guy who's been sort of singing the same songs for years and years, and he's tired of singing the same songs, and it sort of sets him off on this path to change his life before it's too late. And one of the things he does is tries to find this son that he never knew.
My parents are dead. His mom is too. I mean, I would love for our children to know their one remaining grandparent. I would love for my husband to know his father. In a few minutes, my husband's gonna walk through that door, and when he does, I feel pretty confident this will be the last time I ever see you.
They've never really met. They're completely estranged. Al's character knew of him and had tried to do the right thing, but wasn't given access. And life continued on and got in the way, his very big, very famous life. And now, finding this kind of almost 40-year-old man, he's trying to make amends.
Because all you can do is, since you can try to act like a father. Now, what's that? Being a father myself, I know that it's tough enough without it, and never having seen your children. Boy, try climbing over that fence.
And despite your celebrity, and despite what I want for my own family, I will not try to stop that.
And Jen's character is really like the soul and, in many ways, the normalcy of the entire film. Because every other character, even if they're normal people, they're in these heightened situations. And Jen she's kind of a wife and a mom, and she is the one who is the first one to open herself up.
So she brings the quality that we most need, you know, as somebody who really loves her family and will fight to protect her family, and whose family means everything to her. She brings it very naturally.
You did this. You did this to yourself. Shame on you.
That was good.
Thanks. I've been practicing since you gave me the bagel.
No, it has a certain feel to it. Oh, he married well.
He did. I'm great. You see what you missed out on? Perfect daughter-in-law.
What happens is he starts to connect to other things, like the son he's never seen. You have every right to be angry.
I don't care enough to be angry, okay? Nice to meet you. Have a good life.
Bobby's this gigantic presence. Bobby's a tall infant. He's a handsome 6'1", 6'2" guy who doesn't naturally look like somebody who needs a daddy, but the character is very much in need of one. That's what makes their relationship, to me, it's like so touching, and the most touching part of the film is watching these two men kind of fall over themselves trying to figure out how their relationship is going to operate.
Oh, that's it. I definitely can't handle it.
Look who it is.
I see.
When he goes to see his son and find him, he goes to stay at the Hilton, which is where I come into the story because I'm the manager of the Hilton.
Hi.
He wants to stay indefinitely, and I could give him the honeymoon suite.
He doesn't want the honeymoon suite. It's not my honeymoon, and I'm not very sweet. Any room suit me fine.
All of Al's stuff plays into it so nicely because he is such an iconic guy that there's part of that inhabits the character, and he strides in his fancy suit into this kind of very small town hotel.
And what college do you go to, young lady?
Ha.
Ha ha.
So you're staying indefinitely here?
The only person nonplussed by it is Annette's character, Mary. Probably the only person in the Woodcliff Lake Hilton in the film who's not that impressed to see Danny Collins walking in through his door.
Are you married, Mary?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you currently betrothed?
No.
Good. Dinner.
You're asking me to dinner?
Yes, I think so.
I'm sorry, are you on drugs?
Currently or in general?
No, currently.
No. Dinner?
No, I'm gonna have to decline.
You're not a fan?
Currently or in general?
In general.
No.
But we have good patter.
The story has romantic chemistry to it.
How do I look?
Honestly, you look slightly ridiculous.
Nah. See you at 7.
No, you won't.
He's sort of ready for something else in his life. It's very beautiful that way. It's got a lot of heart.
It's delightful to play a budding romantic thing. I haven't written anything in a long time. Mary thinks it's really good.
Oh, the Woodcliff Lake hotel manager. Oh, I feel much better.
She's a great actress. That's a given. And she's tireless. After a while, it gets a bit exhausting. You know, she says, no, let's do it again. Which I love, of course, but yet she just keeps going and invents as she goes. So you go along for the ride because she keeps inventing. And I think the character she plays has kind of got her own quirkiness to her. What do you think?
Well, you're aware that I have no basis in musical knowledge or theory.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you still want my opinion?
Of course.
When you get to work with an actor like Al, he does all the work because all you have to do is watch him and then you're there. So for me, it's been really a joy.
Really?
Yeah, the leaves and...
Me too. If it says anything, it touches them about what it is in life to have somebody, whether it's your family or not, to have someone there when you're in the middle of something. It just touched me. It really moved me. And I'm hoping that kind of thing comes through in the movie.
This is my second time in New Jersey in 2 months. I am not happy about that. I've known Al a little bit off-screen over the years, and he's been terrific to me. He's seen me in a lot of plays that I did on Broadway, and he's always been terribly loyal for some incredible reason. I don't know why, because I've done nothing for him except admire him tremendously.
Chris, he was an idol of mine. I mean, I actually wrote him a fan letter when I saw him on stage once. And And I did work The Insider with him, you know. Another day, he was Mike Wallace, you know, like nobody's ever been Mike Wallace. It's beautiful.
This is Frank Grubman, my manager and my best friend.
It's lovely to work with a great actor, and I call him a great actor because he's earned it from both the theater and films.
Hello. This is Mary. She's my new girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm working on it, you know. I mean, she's a big dinner tease.
No, I am not. I am not.
Yes. She keeps moving the goalposts, you know. No?
Mary, would you mind if I had a word with Danny in private?
Oh, no, of course. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think you set it up, you know? Okay, dinner tonight.
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
She's lovely.
And age appropriate.
No, not really.
There's a goodness about this guy. It was fun for me to play, to try to find that in myself. It's a long journey, but, you know, it's fun to do because it's a good feeling, and it teaches you a little bit about yourself.
We're all here.
Are you kidding me?
You ever hear the New Compass School in Manhattan?
What?
Yeah. It's the most progressive private school in the country. It's got a multimodal approach toward treating children with learning issues, particularly ADHD. I pull some strings.
Yeah, he legitimately wants to help. He sees that the daughter needs help because of their circumstances financially, you know, that Tom and Samantha really can't do any more than they've done. And he legitimately comes from a place of wanting to help. He makes a decision to connect with his family. And Tom just can't help himself. I don't think Tom really realizes how much he wants to connect with his father. I think that's something he learns that evolves in the film.
This is a school?
The blog doesn't do it justice. I love stories that are about family. I love that this is a really solid couple. And I really just wanted front row seats to Al Pacino's performance in this movie, which is paying off so far.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Sorry. I'm dressed like Jack LaLanne. I'm elastic only on the weekends. I'm Dr. Kurtz. I shot Malaya. You really are Danny Collins.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
And you're really Dr. Kurtz.
You really are.
Tom Donnelly.
Danny Collins.
My wife Samantha, and my daughter Hope. And my balls are in her purse in case you want to meet them later.
It's a lot different than talking on the phone.
Well, I hope so.
I really couldn't believe my luck that I got to be in this movie with this cast. I mean, you know, for me, the most appealing thing, of course, was Al. It's a fascinating thing to play a father and son relationship with somebody who you looked up to as much as I've looked up to Al.
I've spent my entire life trying to become the man that you aren't.
I don't know what to say.
I don't need you to say anything, man. I just need you to leave.
Family can be messy, but you shouldn't give up.
I agree. Dinner tomorrow?
Good night, Danny.
Bonkers, including you guys, can clap and she'll go nuts.
I believe this is his first film. He looks like he's been in the business longer than John Ford. So I'm having an absolutely wonderful time.
A writer-director, that's unusual. In this case, we are doing a lot of improvising, and Dan Fogelman is very open to that.
This is such a story of Dan for Dan. No one has ever questioned that he's a first-time director. None of us ever paused for a second. You read his stuff and you know this guy knows what he's doing, and you say, of course, let's do it.
It's a heavyweight cast. It's Al Pacino, it's Annette Bening, it's Christopher Plummer, it's Bobby Cannavale, it's Jennifer Garner. I mean, to walk into it, we were on a tight schedule, and to walk into your first film, I'd really made a promise to Al that I was going to do right by him with the film and that he was going to be happy with it at the end. And so there's a great stress and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. You feel like you don't want to screw up.
Marker. Action, Al.
I wrote it thinking of Pacino.
When a director really wants you to play this part, you have to say, all right, I'll do it. I did that with The Godfather. Francis wanted me to play Michael Corleone. He was so adamant. And Dan, he wanted me to play this part.
And cut! Great!
It's funny to play a singer. It's interesting because no matter how well you think you're singing, you're not a singer. So you strive to do it, come close to it. They just know how to do it and do it in a certain way. It's in the timbre, you could hear it. And from doing it so much, you could tell a real singer from me.
Al's song is gonna be stuck right in your brain forevermore. Hey, baby doll, what's going on?
You were going to be singing this song. The crew's been singing it all day. If you wait here long enough, if we just sat here, you would hear it any minute. Al Pacino seems to be, as Danny Collins, having the time of his life. He seems like ready for anything, ready to dance, ready to sing at a moment's notice. He's not a heavy in any way, shape, or form. Oh, this movie should make you feel good.
This movie is really about reconnecting with the people that you love.
I like the redemption theme in the movie. You know, there's nothing that says you can't go back and try your best at least to, if not correct the mistakes, to try to do better and learn from those mistakes. And sometimes you do get an opportunity to reconnect with somebody who you've done wrong.
Finding a fresh way to look at life and appreciating what you have and all that good stuff. So I think it's good entertainment, which I believe in. You know, a good time.
And everybody involved would always say, you know when you're making a movie, this is good, isn't it? This is a good script. And we all knew going in that we liked the script.
It's just a wonderful, lovely, old-fashioned story. It is absolutely true entertainment, and very human, and very funny, and very touching.
You having fun?
A little, yeah. I'm very excited.
All of our songs in the film are original masters of John Lennon. It provides a beautiful backdrop and really becomes a character in the movie, that this was a love letter to John Lennon a little bit.
It just touched me, it really moved me, and I'm hoping that comes through in the movie.
Dinner tomorrow?
You know what I like about you? You never give up.
Some dinners are worth fighting.